Oh, stop. Spoiler alert, this video is out of sequence. But I just got to share this with you. Check it out. All the regular viewers, thank you for tuning back in. And all the new viewers, come check this out with us, eh? All right. So we've got a VZ Commodore, which has been eco-swapped. And I was floating the idea of putting a turbo on because, well, this thing's already a bitzer. Who doesn't like power? Well, that's just a power outer anyway. Okay, so yeah, V6 3800 Ecotec swap. And it just started getting out of control because, as you see here, there's a reservoir for a manual. It's clutch. So it's manual swapped. So this little project has just gotten out of control. But hey, that's cars. That's life. So I was floating the idea of flipping the exhaust manifolds and mounting a turbo. And as you can see, that's what I've done. And it actually fits quite nicely in there. And so turbo needs oil feed. So we've teed in and just routed that around. Still need to do the oil out and water because this is an oil and water cooled turbo. So one step at a time, I suppose. And in flipping the manifolds, we actually made up an idler for a power steering delete. Why would you do that? Space. And as you can see, there's a TRW Astro Vectra electric power steering pump. So yeah, it's coming along, it's getting out of control. So yeah, turbo is going to flow out into the front man intercooler and back around to the plenum or intake manifold. So the intake manifold's been swapped. It's actually been TIG welded and machined flat. So yeah, content coming up. We'll try and bring some of that to you. But it's interesting when you're doing this stuff. It's like, where does stuff go? And you know, you got to make room and sacrifices. So, like, this is rubbing up against there. So, you know, bracket needs to be modified, flipped, whatever. These have been pushed over. I was tempted to do an ABS delete, but that's a lot of work. I mean, not hard to swap out the master cylinder and the front lines, but then you've got to do the back line and a T. It's one thing after another. So, yeah, I wanted to bring this update to everyone because it's coming along and it's been interesting. So I have made a couple of videos on like machining the intake manifold and doing some welding and fab and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really coming along. Next we're going to do intercooler piping, turbo out, and we're going to do a Y piece to the exhaust because it's twin system. And yeah, it's really coming along. So as you can see, the turbo fits quite nicely. There's plenty of room for exhaust out. And once the wiring and computers sorted, we can get this thing running and fit some bits. So yeah, what do you think? I mean, this has just been one of those blowout things. It started with a car that owed me nothing. So it was like budget build. I threw an Ecotec into it and, you know, everywhere. And then the auto was a bit, how you going? It was free, but how you going? So I did a manual swap. And then when I was doing the manual swap, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be that much harder to do a turbo swap? And looking at the manifolds and stuff like that. So then it just really... yeah, it really just started going from there. But this is just a toy car, a what-if car. And it's been a budget car. Like, the car owes me basically nothing. The engine conversion owes me nothing because, yeah, long story short, the engine came out of one car, the gearbox came out of another car, and all along the way, it's been, like, budget. This is, like, the parts car, literally the parts car. So the turbo conversion's been the first time I've spent money on it. So... but, you know, stuff I had lying around and then, I don't know, outlay about $1,000. So, but honestly, the turbo conversion would be thousands if you were paying a shop to do it. But this is a lot of DIY and, yeah, some of it ain't pretty, but it's functional and that's what it needs to be. There's still stuff that needs to go on. Like this hose can be flipped because the bend's different, access to the power steering fluid. We're going to work out where to put a battery because there's not much room. I mean, I could probably tuck one under here. Don't know. It's work in progress. I got a belt. That's easy. AC delete belt. Or at least I think it is. Who knows? Could be an LS1 belt. I don't know. I got belts lying around, so I threw something on, made it work. And yeah, machined up an idler post and put a bracket on it, welded that up. It's been an interesting journey. So putting a turbo on a VZ Commodore, which is actually a VY Heart. Yeah. So that's pretty much the rundown on what's going on. It's a VY Commodore inside a VZ. And yeah, we're just taking it to the next level or the next step. I mean, what stage? So thanks for joining us on this little journey, and let's see what's going to happen soon. I mean, is there a bigger turbo? Everything, honestly, is kept small. So the factory, the extractors that we have, they're only small pipe, and it's only small primaries leading into a collector, and like the Y pipe and exhaust is 2 1/4 because you want to keep a quick response and flow going into the turbo. Plus it's T3 flange. If you go bigger going into it, it's just a restriction anyway. And 3-inch outlet is pretty straightforward. So it's a small turbo for what it is, but as a power adder, you know, it'll make at least 10% more. And then you've got a cooler, so we can run a little bit more into it. So I think it's going to be a fun little thing to drive and tune and have a play with. And we'll get back to regular content soon. So thanks for joining us, YouTube. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.